Yes, Dr. Laura has just used the N-word and has lost her job, or she's resigned from her job. And I wanted to go, I thought it's about time to do another video on race relations in the United States between blacks and whites and well, even other ethnic groups. As you can see here, I've got a map of this is the Confederate states, the shaded states in 1864. These were the slave-holding states, and Civil War was basically fought over slavery. The South wanted to retain slavery, and the North didn't really like slavery. And then there were new states entering the Union, and they were either slave states or non-slave states, and so the war. I think the Civil War was sort of inevitable. And I'm throwing these pictures in here. These are new pictures, of course, about our ongoing racial problems. Well, I wanted to explain. Well, I guess people don't know the history, and I'm frankly surprised at this. This is 150 years later, after the Civil War, and we're still struggling with the issue of race. And specifically in the South, and what during presidential elections they call the Southern strategy, or they also call it the Solid South. All these elections I'm going to be talking about in this video are going to be presidential elections, not local elections, just presidential elections between Democrats and Republicans. Now here's an example of the Solid South. You see the blue went all Democratic, and actually the Democratic Party in that time in 1924 was the party of the white racists. Now this has changed, of course. You can see these are newer elections. These are landslides. These are all Republican landslides, and you can see how it's completely changed. The Republicans are taking the South, which they previously would always lose to the Democrats. And you can see this was in 1972, a landslide for the Republicans, 1980, a landslide for the Republicans, 1984, landslide for Republicans, 1988. Now, here are even more recent elections. Okay, this was a Republican win in 2000, and you can see that the South went entirely for the Republicans. Now, the Democrats win in 1996 with Clinton, and the South, you can see most of the Confederate South still goes for the Republicans. So basically the South is still, even today, going with the Republican Party. So the Republican Party has this kind of racist part of it, and Nixon was actually the first Republican to successfully use the Southern strategy, and in fact, in 1972, there was a landslide. Nixon took the entire South, and then along comes Ronald Reagan, and Ronald Reagan, here he's with George Wallace. George Wallace was whipping up white anger in the South there when Wallace ran for president, and Reagan campaigned in the South and gave a speech in Philadelphia, Mississippi, which is kind of controversial. There's Lee Atwater, sort of the guru of the Southern strategy for the Republicans. Now, I got to tell you about Willie Horton. This was in the race between George Bush the Elder and Michael Dukakis in 1988. And Dukakis was from the North. He was from Massachusetts, and Bush the Elder was from Texas. And Dukakis was leading the race, and then leading the presidential race. And then they came out with this ad about this black convict who was out on parole or out on leave, and had committed another crime. And that that was near the end of the campaign, and that just tubed Dukakis's race, and it was, boy, pretty much of an overwhelming victory for Bush the elder. Now, this rest of this stuff is recent. Oh, Stormfront. Yes, Stormfront is this neo-Nazi right-wing group, and apparently they are showing up at a lot of the Tea Party rallies, and they're also associating themselves with Ron Paul. And Ron Paul has kind of a shady history as well about racial issues, of course, and Ron Paul being from Texas. And then this is a picture of these, with Ron Paul with some Stormfront people that run the Stormfront website. I don't know. And then I've got some more of these, I don't know, teabagger types and Republican types. And it's kind of sad that we're still having to deal with the racism, and it's directed at Obama. And, well, okay, we're not post-racial yet.